Alright guys, today I watched the Brian Kendrick Theory, and this is it's not a shoot interview because it's not wrestling related, but this is a DVD that Highspots.com came out with, or you can get it on demand like I did. But I'm a big fan of shoot interviews, and when I saw this I had to pick it up. It was $10. You get to download it to your computer so you have it forever, and this was definitely worth the purchase. I really found this entertaining. If you like conspiracy theories or anything like that, there's a little bit of everything here. You got supernatural, ghosts, of course the conspiracy theories like 9/11, Sandy Hook, all that is in this DVD. It's about 1 hour and 35 minutes, and if you get the DVD you get an extra match, but I just got the on-demand. Like I said, it was $10. I got it forever. I think it was worth the money. That's something I'd like them to do with the Kevin Steen Show DVDs or on-demand videos, is make them $10. $15 is a bit much for a shoot interview in my opinion, but unless it's something amazing like Ric Flair. But anyways, I got the description here from the Brian Kendrick DVD. And here are the topics discussed: Illuminati, Skull and Bones, 9/11, Sandy Hook, War on Terror, HARP, the Moon and Nazis, CIA and sex slaves, assassinations, supernatural, Atlantis, aliens in Area 51, Denver Airport, ghosts, faked moon landing, and Big Brother. And I'm not really sure how I would review this. I mean, I'm obviously not going to go through and say everything he talked about, but I will tell you some of my favorite topics they went over. The Illuminati one was very interesting. Brian Kendrick is talking about how there's this mysterious group that runs the world. We all know what the Illuminati is, and he kind of goes into his own theories about stuff and what he thinks their mission is, how they're trying to enslave us all. And then you have the Georgia Guidestones. I don't know if a lot of you guys have heard of that. You can look it up on Wikipedia, but it's this thing where a lot of people interpret the Georgia Guidestones to basically mean control the population. That's the purpose of the stones, is to give information that the population needs to be around 5 billion, I want to say. Maybe I'm way off. Maybe it's like 5 million. I can't remember. But Brian Kendrick talks about how he thinks the Illuminati wants to use us all as slaves, but now there's just too fucking many of us. So they need to get the population down to what the Georgia Guidestones is talking about. It kind of goes back and forth on that, talking about the Illuminati and stuff. Then you have the 9/11, and he goes into a little bit more detail on how he thinks there was this hurricane. And they used this hurricane as a distraction to shoot this laser beam into the towers, which destroyed the concrete and steel on a molecular level, and that's what brought the towers down. But I like the points he brings up about how the cars, the outside was burned, but the inside was fine, and how the paper didn't burn. There's paper everywhere. Why didn't the paper burn? So I like that. Sandy Hook was very interesting. And I also like the way Highspots shows little pictures in the corner, or they'll write something at the bottom to kind of give a little bit more detail on what Brian Kendrick's talking about. They show some of the pictures he mentions in Sandy Hook, like how this guy, and a lot of this stuff I didn't know. There was a guy whose daughter was killed in Sandy Hook. And I'm not saying Sandy Hook didn't happen. I'm telling you what they talk about in this DVD. These are not my personal views. But it's very interesting that this guy whose daughter was supposedly killed, which is very sad, is seen laughing before giving his interview on the news. I mean, I don't know what the guy was talking about. He could have been, who knows? Maybe he had a good reason for laughing. But if this guy was laughing before giving the interview about how his daughter was murdered, I could see how people may misinterpret that. And also, there was a picture of a little girl who, shortly after she was supposedly killed in Sandy Hook, she's with the president wearing the same outfit. So I don't know about that, but it was very interesting. Then he talks about the War on Terror, HARP, the moon and Nazis was a great topic. I really like that, how a lot of people believe the moon is a space station, how the Nazis, Hitler sent like 10,000 soldiers to Antarctica to find inner Earth. And they were working on spaceships and shit like that. And then he talks about Operation Paperclip, which is a real thing, where America brought in a lot of the German scientists. And it's not written down here, but it wasn't like a full-fledged topic, but they did talk about the Holocaust, and Brian Kendrick says that he doesn't think they killed 6 million Jews, more like 250,000, and it wasn't their actual purpose to kill the Jews. And he saw a documentary, I really can't remember the name of it, but it was In the Gates of Auschwitz or something. And he says in this documentary, this guy, this Jewish guy, goes to Auschwitz and shows this supposed gas chamber where all these murders happened, and how the pipes were put in later, and how a guy working there actually admits on tape. He convinces the guy to admit this, that a lot of this stuff was put in after the fact. Just something to think about, just interesting viewpoints, that's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to sit here and say the Holocaust didn't happen, trust me. But I just think it's interesting to see some of these theories. CIA and sex slaves was another interesting one. Brian Kendrick talks about how certain people he believes were assassinated by the CIA, a lot of South American leaders. Sex slaves, I can't really remember that. I think he said something about how young up-and-coming politicians, they will get them drunk or high and then have a young prostitute sleep with them and then take pictures so that they can blackmail them later, I believe is what he talked about here. Assassinations is about JFK. He also talks about celebrities who were involved with the Illuminati, spoke out against it, and then were murdered, like Tupac. He has a theory about Michael Jackson, how Michael Jackson faked his own death, which was very funny. Supernatural. They talked about Bigfoot a little bit, and I can't really remember much else from that topic. Atlantis is another one. Aliens in Area 51. He just says that he believes there are aliens, but not necessarily. He thinks it's more of the aliens we believe here, like the UFO sightings, he believes is more of a distraction away from the real events, which is something I also do believe. I don't necessarily. I believe there is a good chance there are aliens in our universe just because it's so vast. But a lot of these sightings and abductions and stuff, I think, really is just a distraction to take people's mind away from what's really going on. Denver Airport was really interesting. I didn't know much about that. To me, it looks just like a creepy airport. Definitely look that up. Some weird pictures in that airport. Ghosts. What did he say about this one? I can't remember much, but he says he's never seen one or something. Faked moon landing was interesting. He was thinking that Stanley Kubrick, they used his set to film the moon landing, and there's no stars, which is peculiar. And then Big Brother, and how the government is trying to control us, turn us into machines, use incidences, or just these major events like Sandy Hook and Columbine to control the gun laws so that they can take away the guns, and anybody who resists, they'll put them in a FEMA camp. And that was basically the DVD, so it's definitely worth checking out. I thought it was really entertaining, and I'm usually not one to quickly buy something like this, but when I saw it, I was like, you know what? I want to see this. I'm going to check this out today. $10. Sounds like a good deal to me. The fact I get to keep it forever is definitely a huge plus. So I had to pick this up, and I recommend this DVD to people who are into conspiracy theories. Like I said, it doesn't really matter if you're a Brian Kendrick fan because he's not talking about wrestling here, but if you're into any of these topics or want a different viewpoint or some more information on some of these conspiracy theories, this is worth $10. That's my opinion on it. But yeah, definitely check this out. You can get it at highspots.com on the video on demand side if you don't want to buy the DVD. And that is about it. So hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and thanks for watching.